Yo, what is going on, guys? It is FoxyDude98 here, and welcome back to another video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with another episode of my F1 2016 career mode with McLaren. We are here for, I believe, is round 15 now at the Singapore Grand Prix. And as you can see in the R&D development system, we have brought some new upgrades for the Singapore Grand Prix, and they are all to do with fuel efficiency, which you would have seen from the Italian Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the Italian Grand Prix, I highly recommend you go and watch that video. It was a really, really good episode for us in our career mode. But if you do enjoy today's video, remember to drop a like on the video. It'd be absolutely awesome. Shows how much you support this series. Subscribe if you're new to my channel as well. And if you haven't seen my live stream that I did yesterday on Open Lobby on Black Ops 2, I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. It's also my previous video. It has been uploaded. From now on, live streams will be taking place on a Friday. I will be doing another one on Sunday, so tomorrow. It's only going to be a short one tomorrow, but there will be another one tomorrow for you guys, unless stated, like, unless I have to change stuff around. But anyway, yeah, so I hope you guys can make it to that one, and yeah, we'll move on into this episode. So as you can see in the performance chart, we have now jumped Red Bull in the standings, which is absolutely amazing with our fuel upgrades. I don't really take a lot of notice of the vehicle comparison chart, just because it doesn't seem to represent fully what happened. But you can see the trophy room, we're starting to pick up a lot of podiums now. We've had 6 podiums in this career mode. So we've been doing extremely well, and that's mainly due to us getting our setups right. But we're coming through now for the track acclimatization test, and you can see we are purple everywhere on the circuit, apart from in the apart from the 2 greens on the track. And as you can see, this is what Singapore looks like in the light. Now you can say, oh, that's not in the light. The track actually started to, it was actually overcast and it rained at the end of that session. So that's why it looked wet. But we go into practice 2 now because we couldn't get any running in the end of practice 1. And you can see we're doing the tyre wear test, and we completely maxed out the tyre wear test. So a great result for us in terms of trying to do that one. And then finally we move on to the qualifying simulation run. And again, that all went well for us, coming through the final corner and going and beating the target objective there from our team as they look to try and pursue in more developments for the car. But that's going to be everything for practice. So you can see here are the resource points that we collected, and as you see, I just skipped all those, and there's the resource points. Again, we didn't participate in the practice 3. But as we look at the session objectives now from Emma, she's going to tell us what we need to do in order to make the team satisfied with our result. And there are your qualifying goals there shown on the screen right now. They have increased, I believe, now after I got pole position in Italy. They definitely increased my objectives for qualifying, I think. But anyway, as you can see, we come across the line there on our first lap in Q1, and that was good enough to get us into Q2. My teammate Button getting 2nd place on the grid, so a good result for him in Q1. Both from McLaren safely through into Q2. And as we move on into Q2, you can see that we put our car into 5th place on the grid for Q2. And as you can see, that was enough. Jensen again getting 3rd. So he's been out qualifying us. He's been quicker than us in Singapore this weekend. But we managed to get through into Q3, starting P7 in Q2. And you can see there are the casualties from Q2. And we're going to be making into Q3. And we go into Q3 now. We're braking hard into the 2nd to last corner here. Going around the final corner now. And across the line there for P5. In the Singapore Grand Prix, and overall we dropped down to 7th in the standings. Jensen Button out-qualified us for I think maybe the 1st or 2nd time this season. Button has out-qualified us and has matched our pace. Sebastian Vettel didn't set a lap time in Q3, so I'm not sure what happened with Ferrari in terms of what they were meant to be doing. But anyway, that's going to be it for qualifying and practice for this Singapore Grand Prix. We're going to be starting 7th. It's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix, and let's hope that we can try and get a good lap going in here. But anyway, as you can see, this is all of the first driver positions and all that stuff. And Emma's going to now give us the session objectives for the Singapore Grand Prix, what she thinks that we should be achieving or what the team wants us to achieve. And there they are on your screens right now. So they are the race goals for this career mode. But that's the end of practice and qualifying. Let's get into the race for the Singapore Grand Prix.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. Situated just 88 miles north of the equator, this 3.5-mile circuit is hot, it's humid, and is an incredible test for the drivers as they try to fight their cars around the bumps and in between the barriers. 23 corners take us twice over the bay to complete a single lap of this unique racetrack. The view is spectacular, the heat is unbearable. The race should be incredible. Anthony Davidson is alongside me in the commentary box this evening, and big race this one, a real test of endurance. Sounds right up your alley. Wouldn't you just love to be down there on the grid right now?
You know what, Crofty? I'm pretty happy to be up here in my air conditioning, thank you, right now. I can't stress just how difficult these conditions can be, especially when you consider it's the longest race on the calendar in terms of time. It's also one of those races where you have to remember to keep drinking, or there's a real risk of dehydration, just like we saw with young Kevin Magnussen a couple of years ago, don't forget. We mentioned the bumps as well. Take a look at the onboards if you get a chance during this race. The movement in the suspension and the chassis is just incredible, and it's lots of hard work to wrestle the car around a lap here.
Top 7 finish is what we're predicting for today's race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Verstappen, Nico Rosberg and Button, a McLaren, Massa, Grosjean and Sebastian Vettel, Kvyat, Gutierrez, Valtteri Bottas and Ericsson, Sainz, Perez, Rio Haryanto and Jolyon Palmer, Hülkenberg and Wehrlein, Kevin Magnussen and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright then, so we are on the track now, ready for the Singapore Grand Prix, and as you can see, we're going to be doing the standard one-stop strategy for our 25% races, starting on the ultra soft tyres, the purple mark tyres, and then going to the super soft tyres for our one-stop till the end of the race. But as you can see, we kick things off with the formation lap. It's funny seeing my teammate Jenson Button in front of me. I've always dominated, I've always criticised Jenson's driving, but this race, he's definitely stepped up the mark as we go around on our formation lap. But we skip the rest of the formation lap, and the 5 red lights are coming on. We got 4, now 5 red lights for the Singapore Grand Prix, and it is lights out, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. We get a much better start than Jenson Button, my teammate, and we jump him straight away, and we make a lunging move down into turn 1, and we get past Verstappen and Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg. Yellow flags behind us, some contact has been made. Hamilton leads this race, Ricciardo pursuing him hot behind. I am in 3rd, Verstappen 4th as we break down into this corner, and the safety car has been deployed straight away here on the first lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. A bit of drama already. The safety car is out. We saw the safety car for the very first time in the previous race in Italy, and we're back with it here in Singapore. It's back-to-back safety cars, but let's get a look at it. So Lewis Hamilton bolts off the line there. A fabulous start for the Mercedes driver, and he jumps Daniel Ricciardo. We go for on the inside there, and oh, it's Kimi Raikkonen that's gone off. He's made contact with somebody there, and it's Kimi Raikkonen that has caused this safety car in this race. So unfortunate for Kimi Raikkonen. Let's get a look with Kimi Raikkonen. So as you can see, he's going around the outside into turn 1. We go 3 abreast, and then I make my way through, and he stays with the problem is he's gone and hit Max Verstappen's rear tyre, and you can see the chaos that he's caused behind. He's reversing back on and off the track. Silly stuff from Kimi Raikkonen. He hit the rear tyre of Max Verstappen. He should have probably backed out of that and sacrificed some positions, but now this was the key strategy change. I saw Lewis Hamilton coming into the pits at the end of lap 3, and I thought, do you know what, let's come in at the end of lap 3, why not? So I decided to follow Lewis Hamilton in, and this is the crucial point. My pit stop is at the end of lap 4, going on to lap 5. However, the safety car has stayed out another lap. So if the safety car came in at the end of this lap, what I'm basically doing now is I'm pitting under the safety car, just like Lewis Hamilton. This means that because, of course, this is only 25% races that I'm doing in the season so I can get through the races, this means that I'm going to be able to get the jump on everyone in front of me, and I will take effective control of the race. Now, Hamilton was in front of me, so it's going to be me and Hamilton, but Ricciardo didn't pit, which means we have jumped Ricciardo because he has to build a pit stops advantage in just about a lap or two, 1 or 2 laps, and that's impossible for Ricciardo. So we crucially gained a hell of a lot of time. And I said when I was racing this race, I'm going to do whatever the leaders do. If they stay out, I'm going to stay out. If they come in, I'm going to go in. I saw Hamilton going and I was like, oh, he's going in. Shall I go? And then I went nice and late and I was like, stuff it. I'm going to go in. But as you can see, the end of lap 4, this would have been the lap we had to make our pit stop, but we haven't. And it's green flags here for the Singapore Grand Prix. You can see we've got Hülkenberg coming into the pits and a few other drivers making their way into the pits. But we come darting now down towards turn 1. We make a super late braking move on Hamilton. We don't make it stick going into turn 1 and through turn 2. But down to turn 3, we make that move stick on Hamilton. But Lewis Hamilton is still alongside us. You can see him there on your screens. Hamilton is going to drag race us down towards turn 4. We brake nice and late and we swoop right round the outside of Hamilton. And that is the key driver dispatched and out of the way, Lewis Hamilton. But as you can see there, we've got to take on Grosjean, our teammate, Rosberg and Raikkonen. So it's not going to be easy trying to make our way through the field. We have a look at Romain Grosjean, but we decide against it. We're too far back, and we have a look from the helicopter cam, go and break it nice and late down the inside of Romain Grosjean. A great move for us, but again, just like Hamilton, Grosjean's going to stick with it. We go right round the outside, getting super close to the wall there from the helicopter cam, and now it's a drag race between me and Romain Grosjean, with Hamilton looking to pick up the scraps of anything that happens in this fight. We go right round the outside of Romain Grosjean, and we manage to move ourselves up into, I believe, 16th place. Now our pursuit goes on towards our teammate Jenson Button. This is the fight back race. We go down the inside of Jenson Button, a great move on us. Oh god, my teammate. But once again, just like Grosjean and just like Hamilton, Button wants to fight me for this one, and I'm not surprised. This is 4th position, and we brake nice and late and go around the outside of Jenson Button, and we make that move stick on Jenson Button. But we skip further on, and we can see we are now making a move on Pascal Wehrlein here, and we get in past him as quickly as we possibly can here. And we're making a sprint now, Wehrlein here versus myself. We then make a switchback move on Pascal Wehrlein. Down the inside, we do that. And we did get past Nico Rosberg as well, but for some reason the clip hasn't been shown. But Raikkonen came into the pits as well, so we got past Rosberg, and we also got Raikkonen coming into the pits, but we overtook Rosberg earlier onwards. But now we skip a little bit further on to lap 6. We're having a look at Carlos Sainz. Now round the final corner, we duck into the slipstream of Carlos Sainz. We go back out of the slipstream of Carlos Sainz to the inside into turn 1, and that is another move dispatched, another driver dispatched with. Next up the road is Jolyon Palmer, as we look to fight our way through the field here and try and get some positions back. Vettel now setting the fastest lap of the race in the Ferrari. Next up here, you can see we skip further on to lap 7, and our pursuit of Jolyon Palmer is ongoing. He's managed to stay in front of us for this entire lap, but throughout the rest of the lap, we have been closing. But of course, Palmer is on the super soft tyres, and of course, we are on the super softs as well, because Palmer obviously started on those because he was further down the grid. But you can see we've got great traction, and we brake nice and late going into the final corner, a little bit wider than I would have wanted to. Palmer does pull away a bit, but we do get the DRS coming out now, and Jolyon Palmer is going to be a sitting duck down the straight, down the inside of Jolyon Palmer into turn 1. We make that move stick, and I believe that puts us in a net first place now in this race. So we've taken the lead of the race because of our fight back when we battled the likes of Hamilton. We did overtake Rosberg going through the bridge into that difficult hairpin. The same place that we overtook Button is where we took Rosberg over. But now Jolyon Palmer seems to be a little bit aggressive. He's got DRS on us. Jolyon Palmer then hits the rear of my car, and then going down the outside there, we managed to dispatch of Jolyon Palmer. But he put up a bit of a fight there, did Palmer, and I didn't quite like that. But we skip ahead to lap 11 of the Grand Prix, and Valtteri Bottas once again is out of the Grand Prix. And it seems to be a common thing for Bottas retiring from the Grand Prix. But you can see we're on board with him with Carlos Sainz, and it's an engine failure around the final corner and on the pit straight. Valtteri Bottas is out of the race, but we're skipping now towards lap 14 of the Grand Prix, and as you can see, Rosberg and my teammate Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton have all closed me down. So for this fight, for the end of this race, it is McLaren versus Mercedes. Rosberg's got brilliant traction coming out of the corner. He moves over to the left-hand side of the circuit. He has got the run, but we've got the inside line down into this difficult corner. We force Rosberg wide. He goes and hits the wall, and my teammate Jenson Button has come through into second place. It's a McLaren 1-2. I can't believe I'm actually saying McLaren 1-2 at the moment in time. As you can see there, Button fights off Nico Rosberg, and it is McLaren 1 and 2. I never thought I would ever say this, and this isn't, I remember we had a 1-2 in Russia because of the pit stops that were going on, but this is a legit 1-2 that we could potentially get in this race. We're breaking through to the final corner now, down the pit straight. This is the final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. We've just got to hold on in there, and so does Jensen. He's got to hold off the two Mercedes drivers, and I will do my best out front as well to try and hold off the Mercedes drivers. But we're coming now down turn 3 here. A nice entrance for us and a nice exit. Jensen Button looking a little bit feisty behind as we now brake down into turn 4, I believe this is, and along the DRS straight here. This is where I'm nervous. Jensen Button is just, I don't believe he has DRS on us. Hamilton and Rosberg do have DRS on Jensen Button, so they're going to be challenging Button as we come down through the end of the first sector, but they have not passed Jensen Button. Button's still in front of them, so we have got the potential here for McLaren's first 1-2 of the season, and if we get that 1-2, oh my god, I can't even believe it right now, but we've still got half a lap to go yet, that anything can happen in this race. We're braking now down into this new little section of the Singapore circuit, we just have to hold on in there, but we're coming over the bridge now, down into the hairpin here, and we make sure that we hit the apex. We don't quite hit the apex, we run a little bit wide, and Jensen Button is right on our tail here, and is Jensen going to have a go at us? He's going to have a go at us for the fight for the lead here. It's me versus Jensen. We brake nice and late going into the inside of this corner. We give Button the space, and he holds off Lewis Hamilton. Rosberg's dropped down the order because you can see that's a Red Bull there behind Lewis Hamilton now, but we're coming through the final set of corners, and this is actually going to happen. This is actually genuinely going to happen. I am leading this race. Jensen Button, my teammate, is in second. McLaren Honda are probably about to get their first 1-2 in the new partnership with McLaren and the engine supplier of Honda. We come round the final corner, as you can see now, through this left-hander. The checkered flag falls, and there it is, guys. It is a win in Singapore, and Jensen Button gets second. It's a 1-2 for McLaren, a fantastic result for us at McLaren. The strategy was perfect, pitting under the safety car, and we've done it. We've done one of the objectives I never thought we would be able to do in this career mode, and we got a 1-2 with McLaren. There I am celebrating. That's back-to-back wins for myself. We won in Italy, and we've come back stronger in Singapore, and my teammate has come back stronger as well, and he's come through, and he's picked up a brilliant win for us. I can't believe what's just happened. I can't sink it in. We've just got a 1-2 for McLaren. It was, oh my god, that's amazing. There it is, guys, on the podium. Myself there celebrating. Jensen Button second, and McLaren 1-2. Hamilton picks up third place, the final podium spot. But guys, that was an absolutely amazing race. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on this video, that's absolutely awesome, guys. What a race. Just what a race. I thought Italy was the best race so far, but this has to be the best race of the entire season for McLaren's purposes. We started off with not even a chance of a podium, and we've gone and got a 1-2, and there it is. There's the classification. McLaren Honda 1, McLaren Honda 2. I started 7th and I won the race, and Jensen Button started 6th, and he's come home in 2nd place, and a fantastic result. Rosberg didn't actually end up scoring a point, so that's 2 races in a row now. Rosberg's not scored any points, so disappointing result there for Nico Rosberg. You'll have to work on that for the next race. But there it is in the driver's standings. After back-to-back wins, we are now up to 2nd in the driver's standings. We are on a massive roll right now, and we're seriously challenging for this title. The back end of this season, with all the problems that the other AI drivers are having, we're consistently now starting to get some podium results, and it's really helping us out here in Singapore. A great result for us overall. As you can see there, in the constructors standings, we got maximum points in that race for the constructors, so we're comfortably cemented ourselves as the 4th best team on the grid. I don't think we'll be able to catch Red Bull by the end of the season. Who knows? Who knows? We may be able to catch Red Bull, but I highly doubt that we will. But as you can see, then we're going to be collecting our resource points. Again, we have ceased the R&D development system. I believe we've ceased it. Of course, we can cease it from Singapore onwards to stop the development and wait till the start of the next season. I don't know if I did that or not, but you can see here, this is the rivalry update between me and Rosberg. I beat Rosberg in every department on the finishing positions and stuff like that, but then on the fastest laps there, Rosberg did beat us, and then through the career score, you can see all of that there. And I believe I did make one final upgrade before we cease the R&D, and that is another fuel efficiency upgrade, so we'll be having 3 of those. But guys, absolutely epic race. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time for what I believe is the Japanese Grand Prix, and there's the cease of the development. Take care, peace.